Ooh, bring it on, bring it on. You, bring it on.
Life know the sweet though, hey. If some people know they hate you, so use the number 6 so and calculate, you go see the rate.
Training is a daily thing. You have to update your knowledge on a daily basis to be able to cope in a very fast changing world. So if they don't train, definitely they cannot cope. They will be left behind in terms of performance, and they will lose out in the system. So that is the more reason why they have to take every serious step to be trained and retrained continuously.
ANUPA, Administration for Service.
Father, we want to thank you because you have been a good God to us. We thank you for all our brothers and sisters who have traveled from far and near, from Maiduguri to Sokoto, to Enugu, to Nnewi, to Ibadan. We thank you, Father, because you are the only one who can keep us safe. We thank you for this training. We know that at the end of it all, those of us who are here will give thanks because we will benefit greatly.
The aims and objectives of ANUPA to promote an advanced professional administrative knowledge and best practices through workshops and seminars, to promote individual and corporate welfare of the members, to arrange conferences for the exchange of ideas in the development of the administrative and management of higher education.
Distinguished participants, the adage, the young shall grow, succinctly suffices here, as it is in tandem with the carefully selected theme of the conference, fundamentals of skills acquisition for the next generation of university professional administrators. ANUPA National Training Team thus is mindful of the need to ensure continuous professional development of members to sustain achievement of administrative efficiency even for the future university system. This is the reason why this particular training is aimed at equipping and preparing our current junior professional administrators for the tasks ahead. Inevitably, during the training, our experienced resource persons shall do justice to the various subjects allocated to them, as they are naturally expected to be sharing experiences and in the process impart the requisite knowledge and skills to the next generation of administrators. And for accepting this wondrous task, I salute and professionally thank all our resource persons. Participants are equally appreciated for availing themselves to be trained. I enjoy both physical and visual participants to maximally utilize the opportunity provided here to build bridges and meaningful connections with colleagues from other universities or institutions. Such relationships, I must stress, will further foster exchange of ideas and solutions to administrative problems even after the training, thereby promoting quick adoption of emerging global trends for achieving administrative efficiency in the universities. In the same vein, I also enjoined the participants who are just a small fraction of our membership to liaise with their branch executive committees to conduct step-down trainings so that a greater percentage of our members will gain the knowledge disseminated here. At another level, the NEC, in an effort to encourage our vice chancellors to be active in promoting ANUPA activities and ensure administrative efficiency in our universities, have instituted ANUPA awards for deserving vice chancellors. The first beneficiaries may receive the award today. The first one is here. We are expecting the other person on the, who is on the way. We therefore congratulate our amiable awardees, trusting that they will sustain the tempo to take ANUPA and university administration to its zenith.
Yes, I think it is the trend now for skill acquisition for everybody, not only for secondary schools or university undergraduates. I join you to be very, very attentive, pay attention, and do put whatever you get here into practice. It is going to go a long way for you to even mentor others that will be coming under you or after you. You also grow to be senior administrative staff in the university, and you have younger ones coming under you, which you also need to mentor. And in this skill acquisition program, there is one particular skill that we really need to imbibe and practice very well. That is the ICT. The ICT, most of us in the administration are really lagging behind.
Gaius Oke-Sali was born on 29 September 1967 in Oka, Akoku, Ondo State of Nigeria. He attended St. John's Primary School, Oka, Akoku, Ondo State, between 1973 and 1977. St. John Mary's Demonstration Primary School, Ondo State, 1977 to 1979, and Victory College, Ikare, Akoku, Ondo State, 1999 to 1986, for his primary and secondary school education. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in English language from the then Ondo State University, Ado Ekiti, 1991, and a master's degree in managerial psychology from Adekule Ajasi University, Akumba, Akoku, 2012.
Service delivery is what we do. But that service delivery is already dying, and that is why the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2004 brought about what we call Servicom today, isn't it? Servicom, service compact. Saying that you must provide services to customer satisfaction without breaking the rules, without wasting resources, without fear, without favor. Right? Okay. We are saying here that the use of ICT has permeated every aspect of our lives, especially the world of work. We all know that. Almost everyone here has an Android. That is the computer. And you can do virtually everything on your phone. Now we exchange communications, very vital communication with our principals, with our colleagues on our phones. Isn't it? So, what the world of work today has been completely overtaken by ICT. Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. The implication of that is that professional university administrators at the hub of university administration should facilitate this change. This change from paperwork to working in the cloud. Do you understand that? Now, I'll show you very soon where we are coming from, where we are, and what we intend to achieve. That if university administrators are not careful, if we do not up our skills, the train will leave us behind. And that is why what ANUPA is doing in training. I'm happy when the president said in his welcome address that when we leave here, we should organize trainings for our colleagues about what we take away from this workshop. So administrators in the university business should know that it is no longer business as usual. Over the years, technology has become an essential part of our day-to-day lives, both personal and professional. For organizations specifically, technology in the workplace has completely redefined the operational processes as well as stakeholder behavior and expectations. The University of Ibadan, for instance, has over the years an alumni that is already global. You know, graduating over 5,000 students every year, and for 75 years.
You were able to do a very marvelous presentation, effortlessly, seamlessly. You took us into the world of ICT. And in your words, the renaissance, the rebirth, how it all began, the way we were before, and then presently, and the future, where we are heading to. You made us realize that for our benefit, especially the junior ones amongst us here, the junior administrative officers amongst us here, the imperative of clean up immediately as soon as possible to this trend, the ICT world, that without that we won't make any meaningful progress in our career as administrative officers. In a nutshell, you delve into minute writing. How you can use that to now do the minute writing, decision extract, notice of meeting, and so on and so forth. You also went into the storage. How can you store those minutes written? How can you retrieve it? Even the action letters, how do you now do it? You made us understand that you can now do it. And somebody even, the vice chancellor here, acknowledged right away that before us now, that she's even giving approval, taking action immediately. That is the world of ICT for you.
Thank you so much for the lecture. You really mentioned a lot of things on ITC, which Nnamdi Azikiwe is really working on, and we have gone far so far. But my question now, sir, is about filing. When we want to retrieve documents, how do you do proper filing? Because I work in student units in University. So I want you to help us educate more on filing. But reference number, we know how we do reference number in memos. But the issue now is filing. Thank you.
Filing and retrieving and referencing. This will be topic for another day. I will help you with it. In our offices in those days, we used to have what we refer to as working files. You know working files? Do we know working files? Okay. We have administrative files. In some universities, they call it subject files. Do we know that? Correspondence with digital communication. Correspondence with VC, correspondence with NUC, presidency, state governor, state government, sent forward. All those ones are administrative files. And you call them sometimes, like I said, subject files. Right? Okay. Now, these files, you give them numbers and put them in shelves. And for each file, you keep documents inside. I am repeating it because of those of us who are green and who are the digital administrators. They came in when we were no longer using those things. Resistance to ICT. Sir, we will continue to have the resistance. Being who we are and what we are. There are so many reasons why we should resist it. Vice chancellors will resist it because of funding. They will tell you no money to do this. You understand? Ma'am, is that correct? I know most vice chancellors said it. I don't know your university, maybe you have a lot of money there. The problem is funding. You know, many things we want to do, the resources will not allow us to do them. But we have some people who will resist like us because we don't have the skills to meet up with the change. And that is basically what we are here to do today, to encourage us to up our skills, right?
Professor Olayinka Karim was born 43 years ago in Ijebu-Ode to a large family of 37 children, of which she is the 22nd child. She attended Muslim Girls High School, Ijebu-Ode, with outstanding contributions both in academics and sports. Her foray into food science and technology began in 1992 when she obtained BSc Honors with second-class upper division in discipline from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta.
Nigerian University Professional Administrator of ANUPA in the Merit Award conferred on our distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Olayinka Karim of Fountain University, Osogbo. We are very proud of you and we congratulate you.
Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed was born on the 5th March 1963 at Laminga, Nigeria, Nasarawa State, Nigeria. He is the 5th and current Vice Chancellor of the Nasarawa State University. Until his appointment as the acting Vice Chancellor in 2018, he was in the service of the University of Abuja.
Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed, on behalf of ANUPA will present this award to you. Congratulations.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Are you ready? Unu ready?
No matter how you try, don't you ever fall. Keep your head up high and standing tall. Bring it on, bring it on.
Are you ready? Unu ready?
No matter how you try, don't you ever fall. Keep your head up high and standing tall.
And rising, rising, rising.
I'm highly delighted to be here and highly delighted to be honored by ANUPA. Thank you. I'm very happy and also very grateful. Fountain University will continue to support ANUPA, and we are going to continue to make the platform very veritable for you to perform.
Twice that we appreciate the award today, and also to thank and appreciate the organizers of this workshop, and to also tell them that Professor Suleiman, there was this embargo on sponsoring people to attend workshops and conferences, but for whatever reason Professor Suleiman has sent 10 of our staff from National State University. I think they are all here. Can you please raise up your hand to be recognized for the very first time?
ANUPA National Executive Committee, sir, I present to you this as a noble gift for knowledge impacted on our members and for honoring our invitation. We hope you will extend our warm hands of friendship to your Vice Chancellor and the entire staff and students of University of Ibadan. We hope you will honor our invitation in the very near future when we invite you again to present any other paper as you have presented this afternoon. We thank you very much and wish you safe journey back to your home. Thank you, sir.
Standing tall and
Rising, rising, rising. Keep it high, rising, rise.
bring it on.
This life is not easy. So much hustling and puzzling. Everyone is struggling. So make you know they believe, say, since everyone is chasing, you're never gonna make it. Never say no, never give up. Keep your head up, standing tall. And for sure, you go turn it up, turn down for what?
ANUPA is the training arm of ANU. ANU is Association of Registrars of Nigeria Universities. And so this has been a national training program for ANU. They hold the trainings twice every year. And this year we're looking at deployment of ICT and the imperatives for the university administrators in matching the renaissance. It's like training the trainers. We're training this crop of administrators that are here so that they can go back to their various universities and further train other administrators. That is, you cannot have enough of the training for ICT because, you know, things keep changing by the day, by the minute, and all over the world today, the in thing is ICT, moving towards artificial intelligence now. And the university administrators have to be up to the task to be able to help the universities deliver services that will help the Nigerian university system to continue and improve upon the research that is going on, the teaching and the community services that is going on within the university system.
This award that has been bestowed to me by ANUPA is a great one. I'm very delighted about it. And it's not only being delighted, I'm also being challenged to do more for my university, for the professionals in the university system, the professional administrators in the university. And we've realized that we need to move forward. We need to move forward in order for the education system in Nigeria to be developed and to be better. Everyone is saying education is going down, education is going down. So all hands have to be on deck, and it's also going to start from the professional administrators. Their contributions is not going to be, it is expected to be enormous, because with them and with the academic sector, the academic staff of the university, we can have a better education system. So with this award, it's a challenge for us in the university that we need to put up our professional administrators for more training, for them to be pragmatic in their capacity, to be pragmatic in their in their contribution, in their forms of development in the university. And that is why it is very eminent on us that capacity development of the administrators is very important. Pedagogical training is also very germane for them. When they are developed, their capacity is developed, their contributions will be enormous. They will be able to have a better education system in our Nigerian university.
You cannot just buy experience in the market, you have to acquire it. And one of the ways of acquiring experiences is by coming to seminars, for trainings, for workshops like this, where you meet seasoned administrators who know it better and who have seen it all, telling you much more information, much more experience about university administration, how to run a university, and your roles, what you are supposed to do as an administrator, especially the younger ones coming up.
And that's why training is very, that's why I'm saying kudos to ANUPA. They will keep training on. One of the key objectives of ANUPA is promoting and advancing professional administrative knowledge and best practice through workshops and seminars, which is what we are doing. I mean, many of us have seen that objective of ANUPA, and let's keep it flying high. So let's comprise of people. And Peter Lucas says the purpose of an organization to make ordinary human beings to do extraordinary work. You come to the place of work, and when you apply to become what? There's a desire in your heart. I want to, in the immediate present, get money to come into my pocket to take care of my personal needs. I'm sure you remember Maslow. But then as you go on, you're not looking, in 20 years, what do I want to become? Can this organization facilitate by becoming what I want to become? And that is very key. Organizations are made of people, not facilities. First of all, people. And human capital, which is the human resource, is the epicenter of every organization. Put the machines together, they will not do a thing. Am I communicating? Yes. So it requires human beings with intellect to put the machines to work for the purpose of actualization of the objectives of the organization. I like to say that higher education institutions, please can I ask, is there anybody from outside the university here? No. So I can dovetail my discussion on the university system. Higher education institutions, special institutions comprising different kinds of personnel who create diversities and structure. When you're talking of diversity, you can talk in terms of male, female. I remember I was at an AUA conference in worked some years ago, and at that time there were about 4 or 5 different kinds of gender. But now I understand there are about 16 types of gender. When I went to school, gender was just 2, male, female. And as an administrator, you must not ask what kind of gender that you are. That was UK 2013. Why am I emphasizing this? We say diversities of structure and content. Structure. You have different faculties, isn't it? Compressing different
the difference in the categories of the human resources in the organization. It better is a place where you have a professor and a cleaner. But they must all work towards the actualization of the objective of the university.
It's a privilege for me to be with you. I feel highly honored and highly humbled. There's no doubt that when I heard that Mr. Your group didn't need a lecture, at the particular time, I was actually in Tedford. I told them that they need to round up all the discussions because I want to see him talk again. Registrars are supposed to be custodians of university sanitary values, and we owe them exactly like that. A vice chancellor that is not in tandem with his registrar is moving towards failure.
Everyone is struggling, so make you know they believe, say, since everyone is chasing, you're never gonna make it. Never say no, never give up, keep your head up, standing tall, and for sure, you go turn it up, turn down for what? Shane and them talk say, we know.
To praise ANUPA for the continuous training of administrators and advocated for the regionalization of the training of administrators, that's for the different regions of the country and not only at the national level. He said there is need for training and retraining of administrators in order to upgrade their knowledge and skills so that they will be able to perform their functions efficiently and effectively. He also talked about human capacity at the center of organizational success. That is, without human capacity, then we will not be able to harness the material resources that we have to accomplish organizational success.
As a junior administrator and ARM, we find out that when it concerns appraiser, should I say duty is limited because it's the head that appraises us. Then you find out that someone is due for promotion and appraisal is not coming as at when due. Even when the person must have written, let's say, promotion examination, the delays, nobody pays for it and there will be no apology for it. What should, okay, I don't want to ask a question. Is there no avenue where we, the heads that are here, can communicate our heads? Because it will be normal for us to tell them this is wrong. The seat has not been yes, as doing the wrong thing. Is there any avenue you can tell them that this thing is wrong?
University works by calendars. I'm talking of the ideal university, not the wishy-washy thing we are running now. That by 10th of April, upper courses are out. I'm aware there are contingencies based on union strikes. The unfortunate thing is that you are not taking union strikes as the normal. No. I came here today with a very heavy heart for you, my colleagues. One desire I have is that university may return to what it used to be. Because I know what just said. A nation is as great as the quality of its universities. A university as great as the quality of its professorate and the quality administrators who are administrators of the system.
Keep your head up, standing tall, and for sure, you go turn it up, turn down for what?
And ask this very important question. Do you often wonder why, in a university setting, one who gives or presents record of proceedings of any meeting is considered a good administrator, and more than often celebrated by his peers? Let me the other way around. Somebody who writes very good minutes of meeting. You know, we know ourselves as administrators. Why is it that such a person is considered a good administrator? Just for the singular fact that the person could write very good minutes. Notwithstanding the fact that minute writing is not the only duty of a university administrator. But for the fact that somebody distinguishes in that singular act is considered a good administrator by our friends, those in the other divide, that means that's the teaching staff. Once they see you write very, they say, oh, come on, that's a very good administrator. Do you wonder why such things happen? But is that not the truth? That's the truth. The above scenario best captures the importance of minute writing. That's it. Importance of minute writing and other attendant responsibilities of a university administrator. Now, Chambers 20th Century Dictionary defines architect as a designer of a building, a maker, a contriver, and then architecture is described as a constructive, controlling, directing, systematic arrangement of knowledge. That's what he captured. That what a secretary is the what drives the meeting. If you can design, if you can arrange this systematic way of knowledge, not this knowledge presentation, directing and controlling, that's not the architect of minute writing.
What are the visible difference between minutes and report? 2. Between minutes and decision extract, which come first? After taking a minute, which come first? The third question, between chairman opening remark and consideration and adoption of agenda, which come first?
The meeting. We close the meeting. And they started with an opening prayer. But we didn't hear you say there should be a closing prayer.
I want to be clarified. Emergency meetings. Do we read it during the next meeting? Because we have maybe regular meeting and then we have emergency meeting. During the next regular meeting, do we break up the emergency meeting to read? What do we do? At what point, let it be clarified, when we consider agenda? Because at the point you brought up the agenda, you have talked about opening, you have talked about chairman's remarks and other things. At what point? Because
my question is it just about Nigeria and prayer, or is a general practice worldwide? Thank you.
Sometimes a secretary can also be a member of a committee. You now see appointment made, the person is member secretary. And if your member secretary, you now contribute. Are you following? If you are appointed, because sometimes you are made a member of that committee because of your technical know-how. If they know, example is if a committee is set up into something like something to do with maybe road construction also. If you are an engineer by profession and maybe you are lacking that, they may consider to make you also a member. Emergency meetings are also meeting. You sign minutes. You sign minutes of emergency meetings. You sign minutes. There are minutes of meetings. You sign them. Like I said, it does not take a statutory, because when it's statutory meeting, periods are given for you to send that notice of meeting. But because of that nature of the meeting, emergency, the meeting arose out of emergency, an emergency something.
Yes, I feel highly excited when I see a training like this. There is nothing that you can compare to training, because there is need for training and training, because university is an environment of order. And if you want to still continue to keep the order in that system, people must be abreast of the rules and regulations that guide the university. And this is a forum, for them to be reminded. There are some of them that know, and apart from that, there are people that will come with experience to be able to give them, things that they have encountered in practice. This is where you can't read most of the things you see here in books. You won't find them there, but people will come and share their experiences, and that are some of those things that will stick, that you will remember at any time. So it is important.
ANUPA is a training organization for universities, self-organized, to train themselves so that they can be able to do what is required. How then can this be done? A little here, a little there makes the man. We always say that for administrators to be versatile and do what they need to do for effective and positive output on the system, they must know everything about everything, and yet compose themselves to be able to give the best that is required.
Howard Lami Tamina was born into the family of Honorable Toma and Haduji Gaba, all of blessed memory, in Jos Plateau State, Nigeria. She hails from Kanam, local government in Plateau State. She tore through the educational sojourn in an unbroken sequence. She attended Lama Private School, Jos, where she obtained her first school leaving certificate in 1991.
Rules and regulations prescribe required conduct or action, and they are usually binding on persons belonging to a body or institution. Common synonyms of regulations are canons, law, ordinance, precepts, rule, and statute. And they mean a principle governing action or procedure, while regulation implies prescription by authority in order to control an organization or system. So what are some regulations found in the university system? The University Act. Yesterday, Mr. Wuruko asked us a question. Who has seen the University Act? I just saw 2-3 hands coming up. The University Act is the statute that brings the university into being. For every university to come into existence and operate as a tertiary institution, it must have the backing or force of law to do so. For federal universities, universities are created through acts of National Assembly. For example, the University of Jos was created following the Act of the National Assembly, and it is cited as that's Cap U8, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, LFN 2004. So if you want to see what University Act looks like, go to your phones right now and type Chapter U8, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. You see University of Jos Act. You have an idea. Go and also search. You also find how it's cited for your own various universities. So next time they ask you, have you seen an act? I hope all the hands would go up. In the same vein, state universities are a creation of state houses of assembly. For example, the law establishing Plateau State University is cited as Law Number 4 of 2005 as contained in the Plateau State of Nigeria Gazette, Number 3, Volume 11 of May 2006. For private universities, they come into being following the issuance of provisional license to operate by the Federal Executive Council on the recommendation of NUC in line with Education Act, Cap E3 2004, as well as Company and Allied Matters Act, known as CAMA. The issuance of a license is subject to meeting some basic requirements, among which is the submission of the draft law and academic brief of the proposed university to NUC. So every university must have a law that brought it into being. That's all the English was speaking. for this section. Now, condition of service. Condition of service is a document which sets out terms and conditions upon which an employer and employee must adhere to for the smooth running of the organization. It also spells out penalties for breach of such conditions. I'm quite sure quite a number of us have seen the condition of service for your various universities. It applies in both public and private sector. Now, career structure. This is also known as scheme of service. This is a policy document that provides clearly defined career structures. It can also be described as a legal document prescribed in accordance with regulations of the service commissions or any such similar institutions that deal with career progression of staff. It specifies the qualifications, duties, competencies, skills and experience required for the prospective job holder, as well as duties and responsibilities of a job. A scheme of service sometimes shows salaries attached to each grade.
You would quite agree also with me that these are the cardinal principles on which our duties as university administrators is embedded in. That is the more reason why we should look into these condition of service, scheme of service, and all he has mentioned, we should look at it not only once but twice.
To find out if it's actually wrong, probably in the aspect of working with your HOD, who has sometimes been an administrator before converting into a lecturer. He knows all these things, he knows the rules and regulations that guide the administrators. And in the case of admission, he finds out that someone scored D, where the constitution says he should score C. Probably he is, as the HOD, is using his power to tell you to give him admission. And you are trying to tell him that from the result, he didn't make the result C. It's supposed to be C instead of D. And he said you should give him admission. Is it wrong for you to tell him, please sir, with all due respect, probably after everything, you go to him, tell him, sir, please put it in writing.
While you were taking the lecture, you said that if you are a people person, come around that probably you are not doing something right, you are compromising. I don't really get it because personally, people come around me, but I do not really compromise my work. I have a way of just managing them, and I thought that administrators should be actually flexible while still, staying on regulations, find a way to, and also
a situation whereby a male comes into the office, yes ma'am, and then it happens that your colleagues, one of your colleagues collected it, and then the colleague refused to allow you to see it because it's tagged confidential. How do you handle such issue? Because it has been happening.
Situation where somebody as an administrator was taken to cover a meeting, and you have some questions or some issue about, and you want to make a suggestion, and you are asked that your administrator as a supporting staff can only be seen but not heard. I fail to believe that somebody that is in attendance, and possibly attendant and a member of a committee, cannot speak up in a meeting. What do we do in that case?
The former administrator who is now HOD and wants to subvert the rules. The rules are there to back you. They are already given. They are stated. The most difficult people to deal with are people that already know. In law, they said the most difficult witness is a lawyer. If you have a lawyer as a witness, give the lawyer cross-examining you headache. So there's nothing you will tell that person that he doesn't know. But he knows the rule, and he knows you know. He's trying to subvert it, insist. And if it gets to the point that you should put it in writing, you can do so. You can put it in writing. Promotion letter given, you said backwards, I'm sure you meant forward. Maybe okay, backdated. Okay, so that there are no arrears. It ought not to be. It ought not to be. If you have issues, you write and say, this is when you were last promoted, this is when the next effective promotion date is. So you're requesting that correct date be given. Because it's not just about arrears. Remember, you're counting for the next promotion. Thank God for SANU. You have a union. I hope you're active members. If anything goes on, latch on to them to help fight your cause.
Everyone is struggling, so make you know they believe, say, since every...
In the dynamic landscape of higher education, effective governance is vital for the success and the sustainability of universities. Within this context, the role of university administrators in decision-making process has garnered significant attention. Administrators as key players in the governance structure contribute their expertise and leadership to shape policies and guide institutional direction. Now let me quickly say this. I do tell my people in Maiduguri that the university system is not another civil service system. We have our culture, we have our tradition, we have the way we do our own things, completely different from the typical civil service. Completely different. And I want to believe that this is what this author was trying to say when he's talking about institutional memory. Now, in Africa, we say, if you don't know where you are coming from, you will certainly not be able to determine where you should be, and you will not even know how to get to the future. So for us to function effectively in the university system, we must, as a matter of fact, know where we are coming from. We must know our history, we must know our tradition, we must know our culture, and that applies to our families, our ethnic groups, our religions. You know where your religion is coming from, you know what you are supposed to be doing, you know your daily activities, and you also know the end of it, and so it applies. So institutional memory encompasses the collective knowledge, experiences, and practices accumulated by a university over time. These things are accumulated over time. It's like historical perspective. So institutional memory serves as a valuable resource for decision makers, providing historical context and lessons learned to inform present day initiatives. That is to say, those who have been ahead of us in this business of university administration and governance, there is a tradition they are handing over. There is a tradition they hand over. And if we are not careful to observe those traditions, we'll lose a lot of things. Let me just quickly give you an experience that I had. When I newly joined the services of the University of Maiduguri, when a letter was to be written to somebody, say, for example, a query, the letter will read from the establishment that reports reaching, well, that officer's desk, say reports reaching my desk indicates that you absconded from duty from this period to that period. According to the university condition of service section, this subsection, this, you have by this act violated your ordinance of service.
The university has its culture and ways of doing things different from a civil service. He described institutional memory as the collective knowledge, information that an organization accumulates over time. Institutional memory also includes policies, regulations, laws, rules, strategic plan. Then administrators will be embodiment of institutional management, institutional memory, to be able to do their jobs effectively.
We talked about university administrator being referred to or treated as a civil servant. Honestly, I have been unsure of where to place a university administrator before now. So, what are they referred to officially, if not civil or public servants?
When I mentioned that they are being treated as civil servants, you notice that some of the civil service rules apply to us. What I'm saying, work ethics. I don't have a file here, a file jacket. You know, the typical file jacket. You have these lines written there. Alright? You notice that something they call ladder. You know, from this officer to that officer they cancel, and then fall to the next officer. Have you seen things like that? Are they using it in the university? We don't use it in the university system. So the persons who have passed through the system using that kind of thing needs a total reorganization in the university.
I only want to say to our leaders and the organizers of this very program, thank you very much. Also to my colleagues that came from far and wide, I say thank you very much. The Lord who brought us here safely will also take us back home safely. Expecting to meet you people some other time with good cheers and our faces. Thank you very much.
To learn, ask questions, give people your work to look through. Don't be ashamed to learn. Be bold in giving the advice you know is right. Don't allow anyone push you around. Once you know the right thing to do, stick to it. Stick to your guns. Be accessible. Sometimes, as young as administrators are, they're not accessible. Sometimes you don't find them. Sometimes they are around, but they're not willing to open up to people, be accessible.
The training so far has been tremendous. The Register University of Ibadan delivered a very good paper on ICT and how university administrators can key into ICT in order to help them perform their jobs creditably. It has been a very good workshop. I think this is the kind of workshop our junior officers, junior administrators need in the university. As they are starting their administrative career, this gives them the leverage in order to be able to cope with the dynamics of university administration in Nigeria.
Speaker after speaker, training, retraining, training. Even as a presenter, I learned a lot. Notwithstanding that I attended junior administrative officers training, I also gathered one or two things. So that is an important thing. You cannot, for any day you start, any day you stop keeping yourself abreast of innovations, even in management, decision making, you're dead administratively. So that's what I urge them as much as possible. Make yourself available to these trainings. Whether junior or senior, you certainly have something to learn.
Training, but this is a different one because everything went on smoothly. No complaints about anything. Feeding, lecturers, and everything went very well. So although the learning is very obscure, but people were still able to praise these people, and they are all satisfied by what we've done.
Full outing.
It was a wonderful one. We thank God for the beautiful day and for the beautiful training. And we pray God that He should continue to guide us to take our junior administrators to the highest level in university administration.
ANUPA is a body that I don't really joke with. I was at the last conference that was held in May, and here am I also in Abuja for this same conference of ANUPA. Being the fact that it is a workshop, a training workshop, and I'm somebody who has a quest for knowledge. The last conference I attended in May 2023 was so enriching. There were a lot of things that, a lot of opportunities were open to me. A lot of things I didn't know became open to me. And I said to myself, any conference of this nature, irrespective of the amount, I will sponsor myself as usual and come. And this conference is not an exception. This conference has taught me a lot of things. I thought I'm a guru in writing minutes. But with what has been showcased here, it is clear that there are a lot of things I need to learn, particularly new trends in writing minutes, new trends about university structure, status of university, how as administrators we need to be role models university, and how I believe that without the administrators, the university will continually lag behind.
The training is very important because university system is all about administrators, and the administrators, they need to be equipped in new things and new ways of doing their works to be able to carry our university system ahead. During our talk today, one of the presenters was talking about our customers. That is the customers to administrators, the students, the lecturers, the community, everybody that come into the university. We need to know and learn new ways of handling things in the university system. That's the importance.
It has a great impact in the sense that it creates the platform for younger administrators and newcomers in university administration to be mentored and be shown the direction of how university administration needs to be properly conducted to ensure that results is being achieved as far as university administration is concerned.
Everyone is struggling, so make you know they believe, say, since everyone is chasing, you're never gonna make it. Never say no, never give up, keep your head